Okay, so slight introduction to the video. 30 years ago, I got my first proper skateboard, and I skated for about 6 years before all my friends finished skating, and slowly over a period of time I stopped. So I haven't really skated properly for about 25 years. The board that's out in front of me at the moment is actually the last setup I ever had, which I bought after I quit, but when I was still knocking about a little bit and having a bit of a roll about and stuff. But it was after I'd properly finished, and this is a 2001 blueprint Vaughan Baker. Vaughan was a guy that was skating in my neighbourhood when I was young. He was a bit younger than me. He became pro later on, and this board is one of his pro models. Actually lived not too far away from here where he used to live. So I've had this now for, I suppose, about 18-19 years, and I haven't really skated in a very, very long time. About 10 or 12 years ago I had a bit of a rollabout, and 2 years ago I did have a pushabout just to get my muscles moving again. But basically in July of last year, so 6 months ago, I quit smoking cigarettes, and as a result, and being a lot older now, I started putting a little bit of weight on. So recently I decided that I'd start using some muscle groups I haven't used for a while, try and get my cardio improved, and part of that is to get back on this thing, or not necessarily this thing, but something similar. So I'm going to start doing a little bit of skateboarding again. I watch a lot of skateboarding content on YouTube and still follow a lot of the old skaters on Instagram and that sort of thing. They do say that once you've been a skater, you're always a skater to an extent, but I just haven't physically been involved in it for quite some time. However, so it's my old board. It's a just shy of 7.5 inch wide, which is average board at the time. Things have changed now. I think the average board size now is about 8.25, which is too big for me. So I'm definitely going to get some funny looks because I'm still going to be skating a narrow board. But this one is approximately 7.5, a little less. It's quite a short board as well. It's, I think, about 31.25. No, not even that. 30.75, so yeah, very small. But being an old deck, of course, it's starting to, the wood is definitely not as poppy as it once was. I don't have the energy that I once had, and therefore I'm not going to have the pop that I once had. Not to mention injuries as I've got older, so I decided to get some new wood. So, on to the purpose of the video, is I purchased this in the sale just after New Year from Route 1 online. It's a flip Tom Penny in 7.75, so it is a little bit wider than my last board. It's a lot narrower than the boards we used to skate. I was talking to a friend of mine last night and saying my first board was actually 10.25 before the popsicle came in. But this is considered an extremely narrow deck for a modern board now. You don't tend to see many 7.75s. In fact, I've been searching for a 7.75 for a few weeks that I liked. This one I spotted on Route 1. It's Flip, which is a company that I used to know as Deathbox. It's one I'm very familiar with. I used to skate a lot of their decks, thanks to SS20. And Tom Penny was someone that was really up and coming when I was younger, and he's obviously made quite a name for himself over the years since. So along with this Flip Tom Penny, if I just move my blueprints out of the way, I also got some mob grip with it, which Route 1 includes. I was stuck between Jessup and mob grip, which is both the two types that they do. Mob is definitely a lot more vicious than I'm used to, but I can sand that down, that's not a problem. So the Tom Penny board that I've got is considered a medium concave. These are, I believe, pressed in Spain from American maple. It's a 7-ply. So it's reasonably light. Obviously with my trucks being made for a 7.5, they're still wide enough for the 775, so I don't need to replace my truck sheet yet. But the plan will be to get some new wheels and bearings at some point once this weather is improved. So let's first open the wrapper. So it's been, well, as I said, nearly 20 years since I got that board, and I think last time I gripped, I can't remember if I gripped that blueprint. I like to grip my own boards, but I don't know if that was actually, because it was kind of a gift, so I don't know if that was actually gripped for me. So it may actually have been about 25 years since I gripped the board. However, I still have some little idiosyncrasies, like I'm not going to grip over that sticker, that's for certain, because it would drive me nuts. I would see that as a shadow through the grip tape, and it would drive me crazy. So let's get rid of that. So this could end up really, really good or really, really bad, because I am going to attempt on video to actually grip my first board in about 25 years. Don't know if you can really make out, but the concave is pretty mellow. It's not too steep, but it's also not completely flat. Got quite a sizable nose, so let's just check. Is it actually 775? It is 775. There's a slight taper towards the rear. Nose is 675. Sorry, the tail. Nose is 7. And got a couple of fingers flat in there. And a good couple of fingers flat in there. So it's going to be pretty mellow, which is good. The trucks that I've got still are Grind Kings, which was a company that disappeared for a very long time apparently, but they seem to be coming back. I always like the Grind Kings because you've got the inverted kingpin, which means when I was capable of doing grind tricks, so you weren't going to hang up on the kingpin or anything like that. They're also extremely light. But when I was skating proper, I used to skate Gull Wings, but I don't think there's a company that even exists anymore. So let's stop delaying, cut open this grip, and have a look. Yeah, it's definitely very, very coarse grip, but I'll sand it back. I'll sand it down a little bit. It's just trying to flatten that out a little bit. So as I said, this could go horrifically wrong. In case if it does, it's probably only going to be about 3 people see this video anyway. It may be a case that only 2 people see this video. One of them she's sat alongside me now anyway. But we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely going to be funny for whoever does see it. Apparently now, grip tape, especially this mob apparently, is actually perforated. Which is, to someone who's around from the time period that I'm from, I would consider it as cheating. Because we never used to have that. And air bubbles used to be our biggest problem. My biggest problem today might be the fact that I just haven't gripped the board for a long time. We'll have a look. We'll see how it goes. I know my one mate who's actually going to come out and help me sort of exercise a little bit and get back in a little bit of tricks is going to be having a right laugh at this. I'm sure. But I think, I won't say anything too early, that's actually looking alright so far. Now, I do have slightly more sensitive hands than I used to have, so I'm not going to do it without putting that backing on there, but let's have a look. I'm being laughed at from the sidelines here. I think it's probably because the dog's staring at me really odd. In fact, I'm talking. When I was actually queuing this up, making sure the camera was working and everything, we were pressing the button on the camera thing, and the dog was getting excited because it's got a light on it. He thought I was pointing a laser or something, but thankfully he's gone quiet now. Right. I think we're pretty sealed. Now the bit I really don't like doing. So, we used to generally do this with metal slide rule in the shops and stuff, but it's horrible. So it might work better actually as a broken slide for an M9. Quite horrible, isn't it? For those who might just stumble across this, or perhaps some of my friends who have never skated and happen to see this at some point for whatever reason, probably wondering what this is all about. Basically, you know, I'm chasing the shape around. I'm not as quick at this as I used to be. There we go. I'm chasing the shape around and making it easier so that when I use the blade, I don't blunt the blade instantly. But it's also easier to follow the pattern of the board. People who actually still skate are looking at me going, why are you taking so long to do this? But try and remember, it's been 25 years, alright? And grip tape has actually changed quite a bit. This feels very, very different to use. That could just be me. I could just be crazy, remembering wrong, senile old man, blah 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 blah. I think that's enough. So, what are the odds that we're going to get this? Oh, missed a bit. What are the odds we're going to get this right? I'm not going to be cocky and try and do this in one cut, because that would just be asking for trouble, basically. Apologies if I'm not talking too much right now. I am actually concentrating, which for those who know me will find amusing. I'm actually concentrating. I don't want to get it too wrong. I admit I'm not going to get it perfect, but I don't want to get too wrong. I did say to my partner earlier on, the odds were we may actually not end up doing this video, but I may have to cut it at some point in order to go and get new grip tape in the shop on the weekend to actually grip the board and bin the idea of the video off, but we'll see. Ooh, table. In all honesty, actually no, I'm not going to say that until I'm done. Don't want to curse it on the last turn. Right, so, but honestly, I am actually really chuffed with that. So, give it a sand off. We do this, by the way, for those that, again, that don't know what I'm doing. It just seals the edge down and also just neatens it up a little bit from where I've cut. Not perfect, but I tell you what, I'm actually quite proud of that. Right, so there we are, one gripped, flipped Tom Penny board. And I tell you what, I challenge anyone to have done a better job, especially after 25 years. Amazing. Right, so I'll do a video again at some point. I'm not going to skate this straight away, as strange as it may sound, and as much as I would love to. At the moment, it's currently Hurricane Brendan. It's absolutely hammering down. It's January. It's disgusting. So what I'm actually going to do is go out on some late evening skates with my mate in underground car parks, etc., just to get a feel for the board again and sort of get my confidence back up and hopefully get my muscles into some kind of muscle memory working. But I'm going to do that on my old board, so that if it does get damp or anything like that, I'm not taking the pop out of my brand new board. And then we'll see how it goes when it starts drying up a little bit. And I'll also, when I fit the new board, I will also replace the bearings and wheels, because mine are pretty shot. But I don't need super fast wheels right now because I'm trying not to fall off the board, which is good because I don't want to injure myself. Thank you for listening, watching, paying attention to something which you probably didn't need to pay attention to. Speak to you again.